Hi guys, and welcome back to my read-along channel. We are reading Cookie by Jaqueline Wilson. We're getting through it slowly, but sometimes the slowest races win. Today we are reading chapter 9, and that's on page 117, and it ends on chapter 10, which is page 129, so a little shorter today. This is all Jaqueline Wilson's own work. I'm just reading it for entertainment and pleasure. So without further ado, let's get going. Chapter 9. I wanted to keep out of Dad's way when he came home from golf, but he started bellowing for me at the moment he got in the front door. He didn't dare lurk in my room. I didn't want him thudding up the stairs and bursting into my bedroom. If he saw my broken mirror, he'd explode. I went downstairs, ducking my head, fiddling with my hair, so scared of what Dad might say to me this time. But he was in one of his determinedly jolly moods. "Hello, hello, hello, here's my lovely little beauty," he boomed. His face was very red, and he smelled a drink. "Who's my pretty girl, eh? You look lovely, darling." I felt my face going red too. He was trying to make up for yesterday. It didn't make me feel better. It just made me go all squirmy inside. Dad patted the top of my head and then chucked me under the chin. "My little girl," he repeated. "I'm not that little, Dad," I said. I know, you're growing up fast. Your birthday's just around the corner." I held my breath. Mum came out into the hall. "I fixed it all up," said Dad. He planted a wet kiss on my cheek. "Fix what, Jerry?" said Mum. She'd seen the expression on my face. "Beauty's party, silly dilly." "Are you sure about this, Jerry?" said Mum. "Think of all those children running riot, sticky hands all over the furniture. We're not going to have the party here. We're going to go out," said Dad. "I've been talking to a couple of chaps at golf. One of them is part of some theatrical management company. He reckons he can get a whole block of front stall seats for that birthday bonanza musical. Isn't that great? It's solidly booked up for the next 6 months. It's always a matter of who you know, eh? And to make the day extra special, I've done a deal with another chap who has his own fleet of limos. You can ask all your friends, Beauty, and we'll fit them into a super stretch white limo. How about that?" I opened my mouth, but no sound came out. "Look at her, she's speechless," Dad chortled. "There, trust your old Dad to turn up tramps. Jerry the fixer, that's me." He turned to Mum. "I'll fix the Water Meadows deal too. Just you wait and see." "I know you will," Mum said mechanically. "So, Jerry, what about Beauty's birthday tea?" "I've thought of that. They'll have a birthday buffet when they get there. None of that cheese on cubes and sticks and jelly and trifle rubbish. This is going to be dead sophisticated buffet with canopies." He ticked each one of his fingers. Little tartlets, a tiny vol au vent, chicken satay, sausages in honey sauce, crispy prawns, the works. "And then, instead of a birthday cake, we're going to have a profiterole tower," he smiled at me. "Don't look so stunned, baby. You'll love it. Profiteroles are just like them little chocolate creamy balls. They taste just like eclairs." "But Jerry, who's going to make all this stuff?" said Mum. "You are, of course," said Dad, and then he roared with laughter redder than ever, wheezing and spluttering. "Your face, Dilly. Dear Lord, you're practically wetting your pants. Calm down, darling. I'm only kidding you. We're going to get caterers in. They come along and lay it all out, even provide the fancy plates, and then they serve it all too. Won't that be grand, Beauty? Fancy having a proper waiter and waitress serving all your little friends, treating you all like grown-up ladies. Won't they be impressed?" I felt faint. I could just imagine what Sky and Emily and Arabella would say. Excuse me, guys. "It's ever so kind of you, Dad, but won't it all cost an awful lot of money? You said we'd maybe be poor if your Water Meadows deal doesn't go straight through," I stammered. "It will go straight through, one way or another. Just you leave it to your old Dad. Who am I, Jerry there?" He put his hands to his ear, waiting for me to say it. "Fixer," I whispered. "That's right, little Beauty. There. I bet there's not another girl in your whole school who will have such a special birthday treat. Aren't you a lucky girl?" "Yes, I'm very lucky," I said. I made myself smile. I'd bounce about inside. I was dying. I didn't want a party. I didn't want a posh buffet with profiteroles instead of a birthday cake. I didn't want a fancy stretch limo and a front stalls and a seat at birthday bonanza. I especially didn't want all my class at school to come to my party. I took a deep breath. "Dad, it all sounds as if it's going to be wonderful, but I think I'd like it just as much maybe even more if I just had one friend, say you and me and Mum. I thought of Rona and me partying together. We could feast on our buffet and then swan off to the show in a posh limo playing. We were just celebrities. It would just be fun. Just Rona and me. Don't be daft, Beauty, said Dad. He was still smiling, but there was an edge to his voice. We don't want people to think you haven't got any proper friends. I haven't, Dad, not really, I mumbled. I saw you just the other day with two lovely little girls hanging onto your arm. They were, and then there was this other gorgeous kid, the one with all the hair and the big blue eyes. Sky. But Dad, stop all this butting. You're not a little goat. How many girls are in your class? 19. Well, you'd better get busy, little beauty. You need to write out 18 invitations. You can do it on my laptop or maybe handprint them yourself, seeing as you're the artistic. I handprinted the first one. I used special purple card and silver italic pen. I didn't address it to Sky or Emily or Arabella. I didn't even address it to Rona. I wrote, Dear Sam and Lily, please come to my birthday party next Saturday. There'll be a big buffet for you. Excuse me. And I'll make special lettuce sandwiches and carrot cake for you, Lily. Love from Beauty. I drew a border of little silver rabbits chasing each other all around the edge of the card, and then I put it on purple envelope and shook a little silver hearts inside. I didn't post it, but I did put it in the folder where I kept all my Sam and Lily drawings. Then I sighed deeply and started on the real invitations, 18 of them. I used ordinary white cards and envelopes and a blue pen. I drew a birthday cake on each one, even though I wasn't going to have one. I saved Rona's card till last, and I used red card for her and a gold pen. I drew 4 little teddy bears in each corner, and I added Reginald Redhead is of course invited. He can feast on his very own pot of honey. Then I thought of everyone opening their invitations at school. They would see Rona's was more elaborate. If they looked at what I'd written, they'd laugh at me, and I'd think I was weird. I sighed again and wrote a new invitation for Rona on a white card with the birthday cake identical to all the others. I gave her invitation first when I got to school on Monday morning. I made Reginald Redhead hold it. He's had a good weekend, but he wants to live back with you now, I said. Is he giving me a letter? Said Rona, laughing. It's an invitation to my party, I said shyly. Oh, how lovely, said Rona, opening up the card. What's that you've got, Rona? Said Sky, running over to her. Beauty's asked me to her birthday party, said Rona. Oh, gross. Ugly's having a party. Well, that'll be total freaky fun time, said Sky. So who else have you invited to your party, Ugly? You've got a whole wad of invitations there, just as well, because I bet very few girls will want to go to your party. I want to go, said Rona, as I handed out invitations. What sort of birthday cake will you be having, Beauty? I'm not having a proper birthday cake, I said apologetically. I'm having a profiterole tower. Oh, wow, said Rona. I've seen those cakes in a special shop in London. Are you really having one? Yes, but you can't put candles on them. Who needs boring old candles, said Rona. I wanted candles so I could blow them out, all in one go, and have a proper birthday wish. But my wishes didn't ever come true, so maybe I didn't need candles after all. What else are you having to eat at your party apart from this proffy thing? Asked Poppy. My mum says I can have proper pizzas when I have my party with all different toppings. I don't think there'll be pizzas, I said. It's going to be like a little buffet. Finger food, canapes, little tarts and sausages and stuff. Canapes, said Rowan. Oh, how cool. Just like a real grown-up party. It sounds totally weird if you ask me, said Sky. Are you going to have dancing at your party, Ugly? As you're such a good dancer. Not. No, we're not having any dancing, Sky, I said. Sky rolled her eyes. So what kind of doll party is it going to be? Are you all going to sit cross-legged and do spelling tests for fun? We're going to the theatre to see Birthday Bonanza, I said. Oh, wow, 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 Rona shrieked. That group McTavish are in that, and Will Foreman. They're so cool. I've been dying to see that show for ages, but my dad can't get tickets. Well, my dad can, I said, suddenly proud. So who's going to Birthday Bonanza, said Sky, narrowing her eyes. Just you and Rona? Dad's got tickets for everyone, I said. There was a great whoop from all the girls standing around. Am I going? Are we really all going? Are we sitting near the stage so we can see McTavish and Will really close up? Dream on, said Sky. There'll be those rubbish seats right at the back where you can't see a sausage. We've got front row stool seats, I said. My dad's fixed it. So how is everyone going to get there? Sky said. I suppose your famous fixer dad has hired a coach. No, he's hiring a super stretch limo, I said, with a little nod of my head. Everyone squealed and clapped their hands, and even Arabella and Emily. Sky stood there, arms folded, chin jutting. So is everyone invited? She said. I still had her invitation in my hand. So I so wanted to tear it into tiny pieces and say everyone but you, Sky. She was staring at me, her blue eyes suddenly anxious. I hated her, but I still couldn't do it to her. Of course everyone's invited, Sky, even you, I said, and I pressed her invitation into her hand. She didn't even thank me. She simply glanced at hers and said in an offhand manner, I'm not sure I can make it that Saturday anyway. But we both knew wild horses wouldn't stop her coming. She was still horrible to me all day long. In a way I respected her for that. Emily and Arabella still called me ugly, but they smiled at me in a new silly way, and Arabella offered me some of her crisps at playtime. Louise and Poppy started up a Did I Like Bears birthday present conversation, and some of the girls who hadn't said a single word to me since I joined the class last year started chatting away as if I was their new best friend. It felt so weird. Dad really was Jerry the Fixer. I'd longed for them to like me, and now it looked as if they did, but it wasn't real. They hadn't really changed their minds about me. They just wanted to keep in with me so they could come to my party and smile. And I smiled and chatted back to them of them, but I smiled and chatted back to all of them, but inside I despised them. I didn't despise Rona, of course. She'd been kind to me all along, and she was so lovely now. You're so lucky, Beauty. Imagine your dad fixing all that for your birthday. Yes, Dad's like that, I said. Can I sit next to you in a super stretch limo, Beauty? Rona asked. Of course. And you will sit next to me in the theatre? You bet, she hesitated. I suppose I'll have to have Sky on my other side, seeing as she's my best friend. I took a deep breath. Is she always going to be your best friend, Rona? Rona shrugged awkwardly. Well, we've been friends since that first day of infant school, and we live in the same road, so we can't really break up. I hate it when she's mean to you. I begged her to stop, but she won't. You know what she's like. Rona edged closer to me and whispered in my ear, I wish we could be best friends, Beauty. And that is the end of chapter 9. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Until the next time. Goodbye.